that 2v5, after I died, 4v2, none of you took charge, none of you told each other to pause, none of you helped each other. That is not acceptable, okay? We talked about it before the game. I thought you guys were ready. We were not.
I am Asphy. I'm a professional Rainbow Six Siege player for Bleed Esports. Rainbow Six Siege is a tactical 5 versus 5 shooter that's similar to Counter-Strike, and it involves nearly 100 unique characters with unique abilities that may counter each other or you can use to help your team win. The maps in this game are almost fully destructible, which adds a lot of complexity to the gameplay. And basically the attackers are supposed to go in and defuse a bomb, and the defenders are supposed to stop that. So as a pro player, I participate in tournaments and do a lot of stuff in the background to perform better in those tournaments.
What an angle from Asphy!
As a pro, you have to do a lot of theory work, you have to play the game a lot, you have to practice and keep your skills sharp. Being a pro player is really nice, obviously because I get paid to play video games. But on top of that, I live in a really nice house. We get an isolated environment for good practice, and you're surrounded by a few of your friends. I also get to travel the world. I get to see things that I otherwise wouldn't have seen. We've been to Brazil and the US. So far we've ended first in every Asia League group stage, and recently we qualified to the Manchester Major, which I feel really good about because we put a lot of hard work in this last season, so qualifying feels really good and it means a lot.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm an esports general manager of Bleed Esports, and I mainly manage the R6 division. I got into esports when I was in secondary school, when I was around 13 or 14, where I started watching competitive Counter-Strike. And over the years, as I sort of grew my passion for esports, I really wanted to compete, but Counter-Strike was really difficult. When I turned, I think 16 or 17, a new game launched called Rainbow Siege. So yeah, I started playing casually at the start, and eventually there was an opportunity where I was able to compete with a small team at the time. It was an amateur team where we competed in community cups. And slowly, a few more years later, I turned 18 and officially signed to an organization. Yeah, after so many years of competing and having good moments and bad moments, I realized that I needed to make a change in my career. Being a manager was, I think, something that was on my mind when I was a player as well. In esports, a team manager is basically a team nanny, and you're basically handling all the administrative tasks of the team. And it really depends from manager to manager, like what kind of manager you are, whether you're a general manager or just a team manager. Because usually team managers just follow the teams around and basically make sure all their needs are met. You can also be a manager who's very involved with a player's personal life. I think that's how I am as a team manager, where I'm not only just making sure that they get their work done. So mainly when signing this roster, I looked for 3 key things. One was leadership, the other one was friendship, and the third one would be skill or drive from the player. I realized that these 3 things are the important key metrics in what makes a good team. It also came from me looking at good examples overseas from teams that won, teams like OG Dota.
Hey, come on in. Let me give you a tour of the Bleed House. So over here on level 1, we have the play area. As you see, this is the coach desk here, and all the player setups right here. This is where we do all our practice, theory, and tournaments. We just sit here and play. And over here is the kitchen. This is where we cook and eat all our meals together and maybe have a talk after the game. Just sit down right here and have a nice chat. So that's it for level 1. Let me show you to the basement. All right, so welcome to the basement, and down here we got a gym with a multifunctional power rack that we like to use sometimes to get our exercise in. And that's all. So let me bring you up and show you to my bedroom. All right, so welcome to the second floor. This is my bedroom, and I sleep right here. As you can see, there's a pretty nice view. And that's pretty much it for the team house. Hi, Mom.
Hey Jay, how's everything?
It's good. We beat Fury 2-1, and now we're going to the Manchester Major.
Wonderful, congrats. Are you excited?
My mom was pretty shocked that I would be away for a month playing games at a boot camp, because at the time I hadn't really been away from her for very long periods of time. I miss my mom a lot during these times away, during boot camp and overseas, but I do keep in touch with her, and she actually watches our games sometimes, so pretty happy about that. Esports is a very high pressure environment, and people have a lot of passion, so you just kind of let your emotions run wild. So I think my IGL and captain Mentalist, she's pretty hard on us, and at the start it was kind of a shock to be put in such a strict and serious environment. You get disciplined a lot, so it was really a massive change to what I was used to. When I played on various underage teams and tier 2 teams, I never really faced the kind of environment that I was suddenly put in when I joined Bleed. I think now it's kind of a mutual understanding that this is something that we have to experience, something you have to deal with as a professional, to stay disciplined and never let yourself be off guard in such a high stakes environment. What came from that basically was just pressure creates diamonds.
I don't like the way we played, okay? I said before the game that if we're gonna lose, I want to lose to a better team. I don't want to lose to ourselves, but I think we lost to ourselves.
In esports, you get a lot of pressure from your coach, your teammates, and even fans to perform at your best, like within a tournament or even to a single game or single round. And the moment there's a hint of underperformance, you take it really hard on yourself, but your coach and your teammates as well, they look towards your performance to judge how you are as a player. Things change really quickly, and you can get cut within 3 months, 6 months, or the quickest was even like a day.
I think there is a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things out of your control in esports. This industry is basically afloat on sponsors and people's own investments.
Success is usually celebrated a lot, and you see success all over Twitter and social media. But there are actually a lot of failures that happen that you don't see, because many of them take risks and sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Jeremy is really straightforward, and I think he's handled his responsibility as a manager well. He has a lot of prior experience as a pro himself in Rainbow Six Siege.
The best that APAC South has to offer.
It's Derek with the potential to find one, find two. Can he find the third? Swings with an eagle and does it there.
He's given me a lot of insights about how to stay disciplined during training, and a lot of good things about the mental and physical parts about being a pro. I think it's really good that Jeremy has a lot of experience, because it allows us to relate to each other a lot more. So he understands the struggles that come with being a pro player, which is a lot more comforting. I think the biggest moments were before a game, if he just messages me something to kind of hype me up. I feel like he just knows my potential, even though sometimes I'm pretty inconsistent. I think Jeremy has sort of believed in me the whole way, so it just gives me a lot of confidence when I see something like that. It helped me grow in the sense that I'm able to pass down the same advice to other people who need it from me in the future.
Asphy is a really funny guy. He likes to joke around a lot, but when he competes, he's very focused, and you can see it in the cameras in competition where his face is just full-on serious mode. So I see a lot of myself in Asphy as well. I was once in his position, being very young and driven to compete, and I believe that I'm put in this position as a manager for a reason, so that I could kind of speed up his process in learning, because it took me many years to learn different things, and because people didn't really teach me back then. As Asphy is under Bleed, he is able to get full coaching support and support from the staff as well, who all have different experiences in esports. And the ability for us as management to give advice to these young players, I think it would definitely speed up his learning processes and be far quicker than his peers who are also competing.
I really hope to see more recognition in the future for esports. Esports is a very rare talent. I think they should be given the leeway to represent their country in different ways as well.
I think in Singapore, it is important to cultivate these talents as well, to start from the grassroots and create small competitions.
I'm not really afraid of NS. I think it's just another chapter in my life that I have to go through. I might be even a little bit excited to do something new. Moving forward, in the future, I just wish R6 would have more tournaments, particularly in Asia. We don't really have any Tier 2 tournaments like they do in Europe or North America.
It definitely feels fulfilling to mentor these players and kind of guide them in the right path. But at the same time, it's stressful as well because they're kind of entrusting you with their careers in a way. Even though they're not really, they kind of have their own careers in their own hands. But at the same time, I don't really want them to waste time on things that they will regret eventually. So the main thing I always preach to them is to take practice seriously. Don't leave room for regrets and just go all out since you're already here.
There should be a lot more integration with society. The same way that regular sports is looked upon in society, I think they should do the same for esports. Nowadays, people are more and more involved in the gaming world, so I hope to see it more assimilated with life.